Welcome back to the Lens of Neville. We're going to go ahead and just do movie reviews through the Neville eyes, the Neville understanding. How did Hollywood ultimately always, as they do, prove through the wonderful writers, Neville's always been correct. 1987, a movie known as Predator. I was in the Navy. We were at sea. We were constantly going in and out of port doing these things called workups where you go out there and just work over and over. You just do stuff 12 hours a day, 7 days a week when you're at sea. The movie came out. It came on what was called K Enterprise TV. I was in the Navy. We were on the USS Enterprise. And they had a TV system that was all ship-wide. And the TV station was called KENT. Kent TV, we called it. So they had the movie scheduled, and they'd be on every night. There's always something decent to watch. And it was always, good blockbusters, typically. The Navy didn't spare any expense when it came to giving you at least some good entertainment. And, you had a berthing, like a dining room. And there's always like a TV mounted up on the wall. And you'd sit around a couple tables that had checkers permanently printed on them and things like that. And your little berthing. And you'd watch these movies. When you get off work, you'd go to the gym or shower, then you'd catch whatever was on. The movies were back to back consistently. So Predator finally came on. Finally, I was able to catch it at one of my moments I could. And man, oh man, if you haven't seen it, I'm not getting to the spoilers yet, but it's obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger. You got the guy who plays Apollo Creed in Rocky. You got, who else is in this movie? You got Jesse the Body Ventura. Now, again, I graduated in 84, so we were into wrestlers when we were younger than that. You had, in my era, you had these wrestlers like Hulk Hogan. He just left the party recently. You had Jesse the Body Ventura. You had Superfly Snuka. You had Andre the Giant. You had all these names that when we were in like ninth grade, in this pre-teen, pre-serious teen era, we really were into that. And they were all in LA at the Olympic Theater doing these, these wrestling matches. Really fun entertainment. I went to a wrestling thing 4 years ago up in Seattle at some casino. Highly entertaining. You had different levels of their skill sets too. It was really interesting, really fun. So, Apollo Creed character, you had Jesse Body Ventura, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you had some other characters. You had this guy that was in 48 Hours with Eddie Murphy. He was the Indian guy. Trying to remember everybody, but I'm gonna let some go. Some other new guys, this kind of thing. But this movie here, there are these army guys like Green Berets or SEALs types. Arnold's one of them. Apollo Creed character's one of them, but he's more admin, or he was at the same level as Arnold Schwarzenegger. Then he got promoted, this kind of thing. And the movie goes into the jungle. They're hired to go into the jungle, or they're assigned, or whatever it is. I think it's hired. And then they're going to go and rescue this team that has been lost in the jungle. Now, spoiler time. I'm going to get into some spoilers now, but I want to say this first. This movie had a very, very big impact on me over time, but one of the most recent ones has been within a year, maybe 2 years, during all this Neville explosion. The movie literally came off the screen and was speaking to me on a level I can hardly describe to you. And it was before my vision. I'm going to talk promise. Spoiler, I'm talking promise now. It was before my vision where I came awake in a vision with my arms up and a crown formed on my head. The good fight won the fight. I think it was after that experience, that vision, that then I saw that movie in a completely different light. And the movie literally came off of the screen and spoke to me. And the ending, everything about the movie. And it was the movie to me, before I get into the details of it, represents struggle. It represents holding on. It represents faith, hope. It represents love, of course. And it represents the attainment, the certainty that is waiting for you. That's what this movie represents to me. It's a very, very deep one to me. It's very dear to my heart. Now, that's all deeper level. Now I'm going to go back to the surface and get into the spoilers. So they're hired to go in there and rescue these people. So when I saw it in the Navy, I brought up the Navy because we're all military, and we're doing this thing at sea and doing all these things that we're supposed to do and get trained and do. And there's this movie portraying military doo-doo. So the movie comes on, and all of a sudden you're looking at this thing going, everybody's talking about this movie, like amazing, a blockbuster. It's like, what is it? I can't wait to see it. What do you mean? And so people would describe it as the forest came alive. The female character in the movie talks about the forest came alive, etc. And when you first saw The Predator back at that time, there was no special effects like today. That was really mind-boggling what they were able to pull off. Brilliant. This alien is able to camouflage itself, and it's a warrior that likes to hunt. And these guys are also warriors. So they're down there trying to rescue a team of guys who have been stuck there. Remember, spoilers. That team has been attacked by that warrior alien, and he's obviously dealt with them and kept their spine and their skull and is a trophy collector. Very beginning of the movie, if you don't pay sharp attention, a spaceship comes by Earth and then drops off a ship, and then that is the alien drops off into a jungle. If I'm not mistaken, I have some friends who are in Puerto Vallarta right now, and they said that's exactly where they filmed Predator. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's interesting, because we were just there three years ago or something like that. And some hurricane had just come through, and some parts of that jungle where we went to go ziplining, were really, all the trees were just like that, because it had come through and flattened everything. The jungle is thick there, very, very thick. Back to the movie. This idea of the warrior against warriors happening, and the alien warriors picking them all off one at a time, basically. And the idea here is it whittles down to Arnold, and Arnold's now mano a mano with the alien, and there's a battle after everyone else has been dealt with by the alien. Now it's Arnold versus the alien, and there's this battle here. Now, back to our Neville idea, we are only ever battling ourselves. Okay, so I was reading a chapter in a book today, and I wish it was within arm's reach. It's not. About, and I'm going to take a tiny bit of a tangent, because I want to make this about Neville and about states. I was reading the first chapter in a book, and I'll have to put it on the screen later. And it was dealing with when the psychiatry and psychology world was first encountering World War II. But more importantly, the person who wrote the book was dealing with Vietnam veterans and their traumas. I read the first chapter of the book today. Again, the trauma is a very interesting thing, and especially the way it's portrayed in Hollywood movies. So you have this book talking about this idea of trauma and what soldiers experience in war. This movie is about war. It's about trauma, and the people who experience it, and how this has become such a like almost not discounting trauma ever. I'm also a participant. I'm not just a member. I'm the president. So the idea here is the memory. One of the funny things about this chapter, at the end of the chapter, one doctor is referring to another doctor. The guy who wrote the book is referring to another doctor and says the earlier doctors used to say, this guy has a case of memories. And really, you start to simmer this down long enough. What we want to do, we want to get our memory, our mind, into a new direction of where we want to go. And the only way we're going to get to that place is by not focusing on this place, 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 this place. Call this one a memory. Call this one when you were 3, when you were 9. You were molested here. You were beat up here. You were taken advantage of over here. You were ripped off here. Somebody took your money here. Somebody beat you up there. Somebody hit you, punched you, kicked you, made you bleed over here. It doesn't matter. My teacher had a way when she taught me this. She goes, is it happening right now? I said, what? She goes, is it happening right now? I go, what? No. Well, then why are you talking about it? She told me this when I was 25. It's like punching me in the face. It was so profound. So profound. Sooner or later, with memory, now, if we can, we bring ourselves up out of memory. There's like this level. In here, you're meshed with memory. And back at the other movie, Angel Heart, that's all about memory. And I wouldn't name, there's a bunch I can name right now, movies that deal with this, but stay here for now. War, warrior, trauma, memory. If you can get to the level where you're going to leave it behind just for a second, because this one guy in the book, in the first chapter, the doctor described as when he became hired for this job, he was totally into it. He forgot all the war and all the trauma, what he had experienced. This guy literally was in the bush in Vietnam, in an ambush, and under attack, and every single one of the people in his squad, including his best friend right next to him, all were killed within a few minutes. All of them. He got pulled out by a helicopter, somehow got rescued, and he was the only one that survived. And I mean to tell you the rest of his story, it's brutal. As my teacher said to me, is it happening right now? And I tell you, none of this is to laugh at. This is all what we're experiencing. We're experiencing it here, and then we point out there. It's created in here, but somehow if we can bring it to the surface, all this memory, and then get to the surface level and climb up out of the memory and be in your present, be in your now. When this guy in the book who was hired by somebody to do some work, this is the guy that was the Vietnam vet, he was able to unfocus from the trauma of war and the traumatic experiences he even inflicted, which took him a long time to admit to the doctor. All memory. If it's not happening right in front of you, it doesn't even exist. Now, this is going to be harsh for some. If it's not happening to you right this minute, it didn't happen. In fact, if you want to go advanced Neville, let's go. Let's shift the gear. Let's bring it out of that low gear into the high gear. You are not your story. You are not the story you're convinced you are. You're in a state that has a story attached to it, but that's only a state. The wonder of that movie, back to the movie, let's bring it full circle here. Let's round the bases. Let's land the plane. Believe me, I am not belittling trauma. I'm the president. So let's round the bases. Arnold goes through a transformation in this movie, his character. He deals with the alien, and the alien is laughing at the end of the movie, and he's about to blow up Arnold and himself, and he activates this thermonuclear device or whatever it is, and Arnie's running. And as he runs, it's a brilliantly made and special effects for 1987. You really couldn't believe they pulled off what they pulled off. It's really good. Big explosion. Final scene, spoiler. Arnold's in the helicopter, and the scene is just him spent, exhausted. Now, Arnold is not the same Arnold that started the movie. Now, what we see as the viewer is he's exhausted and spent, entirely spent. But if any experience like that, now this is an alien per se, but we all have people in the military that we know that are brothers and mothers and sisters and fathers and kids and nieces and nephews. We all know people in the military, and especially in today's time, military is nothing to laugh about at all, period. I know, I was there. So it changes people. People become different on the inside with their experience in their present. What we want to do is try and maintain a present, a now, to give focus towards and not go and be distracted by what's called the past, because it tends to blind you. The closing credits of the movie is this was the brilliant part to me. Every character of the movie literally is breaking the fourth wall and smiling, like having a good time. That was the moment to me. I'm kind of trying. I'm revealing everything here now. Here's all my cards. When they all smiled at the end, what that movie did for me, in the credits, they kind of named each one, and they were all like, yeah, And it was the credits that really threw me into a new spin. This last time I saw it, I talked about a couple of years ago, after I had the experience of the crown and the arms in the air, the vision. And seeing each character smile like that, it spoke to me so profoundly that the smile coming through the screen was telling me, you already got this. You've already made it. You've been through all the war. You fought the fight. You won the race. Now the crown of righteousness is laid up for you. Now I'm not I'm not kidding with you. That is one of the most profound endings of a movie, and I had the vision around the same time. It was a couple years ago. I think in 2024. Basically, the first 3 months of 2024. This is exactly when this happened 2 years ago. It's that simple. Now, I know I took a movie and added a lot to it, but this sometimes is what, when you're looking through the eyes of Neville, the lens of Neville, you see everything differently. You see meaning of things is different. And that's okay. That's why I wanted to do this movie series, because there's so many wonderful gems that you can get things and build with, not necessarily tear down. Now, typically now a movie of that caliber of violence, I don't want to invest in that. That's a spending versus an investing, but that movie became an investment to me, honestly. So I wanted to share that with you. Most profound for myself. Hopefully it is for you, and just even if you're just watching the transformation, the state change, just the whole thing is very interesting. Hope it grabs meaning or gives meaning, okay? 1987, Predator. We're going to see you in the next one.